You've probably seen quite a number of people making money online from their skill set. But the real question is, can you actually make money from your skills, or is it just the lucky few that are able to make money? I'm here to tell you that the answer is yes. You can make money from your skills. And I know this for certain because I have been able to monetize my skill set so many times. I've not just grown a successful career for myself, I have been able to build multiple businesses for myself and create multiple streams of income. So I know for a certain that your skills are valuable and you can monetize them outside of the 9 to 5 work life cycle. Okay. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I am able to monetize my skill so that you are pumped up and you believe that it's also possible for you, because I know that it is possible for you. Now, so many working professionals do not realize that the skill set that they use on a day-to-day basis is more than valuable. Many times they're questioning themselves, questions like, is my skill set even valuable? Are people going to even pay for this? Like, where do I even start? What have I got to do? Most especially when you see other people online living their dream life and you're wondering whether it's possible for you. I used to be the same way a few years ago when I didn't know what to do, but I desired to also do something outside of my 9 to 5 lifestyle, right? I just didn't want to have one job because I knew the insecurity that came with having one job, even though, whether it was a full-time job or whether it was a contract, it was just the fact that someone else was in control of my pay. And someone could at any point in time tell me, you know what? I don't want to pay you anymore. And it was that time that I knew that I needed to do something for myself. So I was in that same position where I was like, you know what? What can I actually do? What skill sets do I actually have? What skill sets do I think that I have that people can pay for? And is it possible for me to actually do this? Right? And at the very beginning for me, these were the questions that I was asking. And I'm sure that if you're at the beginning stage of this journey, these are the same questions that you are asking for yourself. And that's why I believe that this video is very important, because this video is going to give you that momentum that you need. Now, before I actually start talking about, the multiple businesses that I'm able to build, it's important for us to start from the very beginning, because I believe that that will be very helpful for you. Now, at the very beginning of my career, I started working as a customer service representative. I remember at the time, customer service was the main job that I was doing. After which I got a sales and marketing role. I worked in the bank. I worked for a tech company, and I started to acquire my skills. At that time, I never thought so much about it. Those skills were just to get me the next paying job, right? And so over the course of the years, I built skill set in communication. I built skill sets in sales and marketing. I developed my art of communicating because I had to relate with customers, working in the bank, working in the tech industry, talking to so many customers. I'd had to just improve my way of speaking, my way of addressing customers, my way of resolving issues. And all of these skills, even though they look very simple, are still the same set of skill set that I used when I kicked off my business. So I want you to think and take a very holistic picture of your life, of the things that you've done. My experiences have built me over time. And when I take a look at all of the businesses that I have, all of the skill set that I use to kick off and build those businesses are the same skills that I learned or picked in my course of work. So I am of the opinion that having a 9 to 5 is actually a huge blessing, because it provides the opportunity for you to be able to learn. It provides the opportunity for you to be able to grow. And by the time you kick off your own business, you've already learned a lot from the organizations that you've worked for, and you're able to replicate some of the day-to-day success that you see. So after working, in sales, in marketing, in customer service and whatnot, I went into project management. So I learned about project management and picked up a job as a project coordinator, and then worked as a project manager, and then switched into Agile, started my career as a Scrum Master, moved up into an Agile coach, and today I am still an Agile coach. But all of this work life, has really helped me a lot. And I'll start with the very first successful business that I have, because the one business that I had in the past, another story for another day, didn't quite work out. But let's talk about the ones that worked out, right? So the very first business that I started was over 5 years ago. That was in 2019. And that was going into the short-term rental business. But how did I take on the skills from my place of work into the short-term rental business? Being a project manager, I became very good in managing projects. And so when I bought my first property, I was able to actually successfully manage the renovation of that property because I'm used to working on projects. I'm used to coordinating. I'm used to working with vendors, bringing people together, ensuring that things get done. I was able to do it for myself. So I knew that it was possible for me to be able to buy a rundown property. It was possible for me to be able to renovate that property, bring it up to par, and then use it for a short-term rental business. And I also had the skill set in terms of communication. I'd worked in sales and marketing before. So it was easy for me to be able to market my own products this time around because I'd seen it work in the bank and I could use those same skills and put it to my own personal business. I'd learned so much about customer service. I knew what it was to serve customers. And so I knew what it was to be able to serve, the clients I'll be coming in on a day-to-day basis. Now, even though I did not directly, work with those customers, because I had also worked in HR, which I almost forgot to speak about. I was able to hire the right people to do the job for me. I knew so much about hiring. I knew so much about training and development and all of the skill set. I put it to work in my business and I was able to build a business, hire the right set of people, kick off that business, and was able to run without my day-to-day involvement because I still have a job and I needed to build a business that would not take so much of my time. And 6 years later, the business is still standing really tall and standing really big. Okay. I want you to see the picture of how those skills that you sometimes overlook is super useful. Now, I was able to build a short-term rental with multiple skill sets that I have. Now, it's possible that even if you are not trying to maybe buy a property, renovate a property, hire people, and run a business in the hospitality sector that is heavily dependent on how you treat customers, it is possible that your skill set could train other people that have that line of business. So let's say, for example, I was an individual who wanted to build a short-term rental business, but I didn't have certain skill set. Guess what? I would still need to find a professional who would train my staff, who would help me hiring because I don't have that work. Imagine that you are an HR professional, right? In your day-to-day work, that's what you do. Guess what? You could help small business owners hire and train their staff. You see how it works? You didn't have to buy a property. You didn't have to build a property, but you were able to convert your HR skills into someone else's business. Now, let's say you are into sales and marketing, right? You could also help me in the sales and marketing of that business. So I was able to do all of that by myself because of the multiple skills that I had acquired over the years, and I was able to bring it to use. But even if I didn't have all of those skill set, I would have needed to hire other people with that skill set to do work for me. Now, I want you to know that there's so many small business owners out there, right? Looking for help because so many people, when they kick off a business, they only have one skill set. And so they need other people to help build their business. And that's when your skill set comes to play. I'll give you a second example, right? Now, when I was doing my master's program, I used to be a tutor, right? So I used to teach people, I used to mentor a lot of people. Guess what? When I decided to launch my coaching and consulting business, it was more like second nature because I'd already built up my skill set over the years, teaching people and mentoring people. And so it was super easy when I decided to monetize my agile knowledge and kick off a consulting business from that area. I did not only have an agile knowledge, I also had the ability to teach. These were skills that I also pulled up from my day-to-day working as a 9 to 5 employee, right? You see how it works. Because it's one thing for you to have agile knowledge. Some people have agile knowledge, but they don't know how to teach. They don't know how to mentor. They don't know how to coach. Being an agile coach in my day-to-day life helps me to be able to coach people successfully. Having the skill set of teaching helps me to be able to teach people really well. I can teach really well and I can help people understand even complex concepts, right? And these were things that I learned in the course of my career, whether the job was term significant or not. Because sometimes when I look back, being a tutor, my core was going for my master's program. I was reading at the time, but there were other people, undergraduate students that needed help. And I filled in that role. And today, I am using that skill set. And it's very important because I want you to be able to connect the dots. I want you to be able to know that every skill set that you have is super important. Do not underwrite or underlook any skill set. It is important. There is nothing that I'm doing today that is not as a result of something that I picked up in my past. I'll give another example. I have an interior design studio. And one of the things that helped me kick off that business is the fact that I love interior designs. I designed my home. Remember, I said that I also have rental properties, right? I designed many of those rental properties, just working and putting things together. And guess what? I was like, you know what? I got to start helping other people design their own properties. And so I went from passion to profit. I monetized that skill set that I had used for myself. And it was easy for me to get clients because I'd done it for myself. And there was proof that I could show people these are the apartments that I've designed over the years, and I can do the work for you. You see how it plays out? Sometimes it might not even be things that you went to school to go study. It might just be things that you're passionate about, things that you just see that you're very good at, or things that you notice that a lot of people come to you for help. There is value in every of those things. And it's very important that you place high value on it, because when you place high value on it, other people will be able to place the same value on it. In my previous videos, I've spoken about how when you're trying to decide a skill set, go online and look for 3 or more people that are making money from that skill set. I did that with all of my skills, and I see people making thousands and millions of dollars. And so I'm convinced that because it's possible for them, it's also possible for me. And that's why I'm creating today's video, because it's possible for me, I know that it is possible for you. So now that I've been able to show you how I'm able to turn many of my skill set into businesses, currently I have 5 businesses. I know that you're probably still wondering, okay, I don't have the skill sets that you have. My skill sets are pretty different. So how do I know whether my own skill sets are possible? I know that you're thinking of that question, and I have answers for you. One of the ways you could figure out is for you to figure out the problem that you could solve. I've said it over and over again that it's not just about the skill sets that you have. What can you do with the skills that you have? Let me go back to some of the business that I have. When I kicked off a short-term rental business, it was because of the fact that where hotels were super expensive in my country, Nigeria, right? And so I was trying to find alternatives, very nice apartments that were alternatives to hotels. And I came up with that concept. Now, that concept is not new. So many places across the world, you have short-term rental properties. But I knew that I was able to create something unique, and I put my skill set together to make it work. Now, it was super easy for me to go online and test whether it was possible. And it was easy for me to see short-term rentals across the world, globally, that were indeed a need in so many places. And it was quite easy for me to make a decision to pick that as a line of business. Another business that I did, sequel to that business, was to actually then build a platform where other people that own short-term rental properties could actually list their properties on my platform. And that was because I saw that as another need. Where did I get that skill from? As an agile coach, I am supporting so many teams, ensuring that we're executing our projects successfully. And so it was easy for me to think about building a platform. I was working with software developers every day. I knew how they built software projects. So it was easy for me to be able to conceive that idea and bring it to life. All I had to do was pull myself in that same line. Even when I was building that platform, right? I was the IT product owner, right? I did not only wear the hat of an agile coach, I wore the hat of a product owner. I also wore the hat of an agile coach. And then I outsourced the development to a third party who was the actual team. And it was such a successful project. And that's because I do it in my day-to-day work. So it was easy for me to bring it to life for myself. And given the fact that there was also a need in the market, I was able to see how I could put my project management skill set to work yet again. And I brought that vision to life. And that's how I want you to think. So think about other people that are doing what you desire to do, your own skills. Because I know that you just said they're different from mine. So go and test your own skills. See other people that are making it happen for themselves so that you know that it's possible for it to happen for you. Now that you know that your skills are also valuable, here is your 3-step action plan that I have for you today. First thing is, I want you to go out there and list out 3 skills that you believe that you're extremely good at, whether it's an experience, whether it's a skill. I want you to pick a book and write those down. Step 2, I want you to identify one way that that skill will solve a problem. Step 3, I want you to offer it as a paid service, even if it's $20, even if it's $10. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is for you to start. And the best way is for you to test your offer, right? There's 3 things I want you to do between now and my next video, which is in 2 days' time. Okay. I hope today's video has been an eye opener for you. I hope that you're able to get the motivation and the courage that you need to get started today. And if you're ready to get started, I want you to write start in the comment so that I know that you've made a public commitment to start today. Wish you the best, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.